that is pretty awesome. Looks like we have one person watching YouTube Live, so we're super, super happy.
Like
about
two
how
people.
many? Two people now.
on
Yes,
YouTube.
we haven't been on YouTube in a long time, guys, and we're super sorry about that. This year, we're going to make a lot of changes on how we post our content. So we are going to be doing a lot of YouTube Reels. We're going to be doing long-form videos for YouTube as well. I'm super pumped about that. I don't know how good of a job we're going to do at it first, but we're going to try our hardest. We're also going to be doing a lot more live videos across this whole platform, all of them. So we're super duper excited. Any questions yet from anybody?
Not yet. We've
No
got a couple
questions,
people
guys.
saying hi.
So hello to everybody that has said hi. I'm going to kick you out, and I'm going to have your big brother come on over. I really miss doing this. I've always liked, I love doing these lives. I love interacting with you guys, and I think it's a really cool opportunity to get to know us a little bit better. And it's a really good opportunity to meet all of our animals and learn a lot as well. So make sure, if you're tuning in now, if you have the opportunity, someone just commented over there.
And this one.
What does that say? Miss you guys? Miss you too. I don't know who that is, but I'll miss you. Here we go. We got a pretzel in there, buddy.
Can I add one thing about TikTok you were talking about?
Yeah.
With TikTok, as far as helping us, sharing, like he said, but also tapping the screen, as you can see those hearts popping up, that pushes us out to all of TikTok, so that helps us out tremendously as well.
Very cool. So let's get on that. So guys, you all know who this
We have
is.
a question too.
All right, we have a question. What's the question?
Your coach Judy said, "Is there an animal you wish you could work with that you don't currently have on property?"
That is an awesome question. It's and her name is your coach Judy.
Your coach Judy.
Your coach Judy. Well, first of all, before I answer the question, what kind of coach are you? I'd love to know. I love stuff like that. Coaching is amazing. Without coaching, we could never get as good as we really want to be. So everyone needs a coach. Now, back to the question, Judy. That is a great question. So there are actually a few animals I would love to work with personally. For me, I would love to work with giraffes, chimpanzees, gorillas. What's my other favorite animal on all four legs?
Hyenas.
Hyenas, sorry. Cheetahs. The leopard. Clouded leopards. You asked the wrong person. Any animal I don't have, I really, really want to work with. But that list of them are pretty much, seals, sea lions, dolphins, stingrays.
All animals.
Shawnee, what would be your...
If I had to pick one, it would definitely be a chimpanzee, for sure.
Chimpanzee.
There's another question. That was a good one. This is another good question from CJ Payne 14. How does swimming with the otters work? Coming soon.
All right,
Here soon, which is cool.
So I spoke about this a little bit yesterday with somebody, and that was on Facebook Live. I know you're on Instagram. It's a great question. Swimming with the otters is amazing. The only way you could swim with our otters is if you purchase a VIP tour, behind the scenes VIP tour. I'll just watch your head if you're over there.
Oh, sorry.
A behind the scenes VIP tour. It's an additional, I think it's, $150 for the swim?
Yeah.
All right, and I'm super upfront and honest. I think the swims are amazing. But if money is ever the issue, in my personal opinion, playing with the otters during the VIP tour is the best experience on the planet when it comes to otters. Ellen was trying to break into the kitchen right now. So swimming with the otters, the way it works is after your entire VIP tour is done, we take a very small group, typically of people that are swimming with them. We put on a wetsuit. You go in, we give you water shoes as well. Now, you're not going to be swimming under the water, but you'll have a bench you can sit down on. You could walk around in there. We give you toys to play with them. The reason why I said that playing with them, in my opinion, is even better than swimming with them is there's two different personalities you're going to get a chance to meet. Playing with them, the personality is going to be more like them being all over you. They're going to jump in your lap, under your legs. You'll have toys. You can play with them, pet them all over. It is an incredible experience. The water experience is a completely different otter. They're the same ones that you may have just hung out with, but when they're in the water, their personalities are completely different. They are not about you. They are more about what they can do, and they love to show off, and it is an incredible experience. In my opinion, it's more of a less hands-on, even though you're in the water with them and they're going to touch you, bump into you, they'll get on your shoulders, they'll play with you. But I just think, in my opinion, sitting with them is the best thing in the world. But if you come and swim with them, I promise you're going to love it because everyone else does. Everyone that has came out for the first few months doing the swims, I've tried to interact with as many people as possible. And I'd say I always ask, which did you like better? Sitting with them on the ground or swimming with them? And 50% of them, it's kind of split right down the middle. But 100% of them all agree that interacting with our otters is incredible. No matter which one you do, you're going to love it. So super pumped for you to come out here, and I'm curious to see how much you enjoyed it and which one you enjoyed more, whether it was playing with them or if it was, swimming with them. So back to Shawnee. You guys probably all know who this is. This is my son, Sean Jr. He goes by the Roo Man as well. He is a TikTok star. He does all these battles on live. He crushes it when he goes on TikTok live. And he has been doing this since he's been about 13 years old?
Yeah, just about.
12, 13 years old. So a couple of questions for you. What's the worst part of doing what we do? What do you hate the most?
Hate the most would probably be when an animal comes very ill, like this guy here.
So real quick, now that you just said that, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about Franklin and what you and your sister had to do to make sure that he's with us here today.
So when Franklin came to us a couple of years ago, he was very, very sick. He came with his best friend Eleanor, who's hopping behind us. Franklin was a half a pound when we got him, a little less than half a pound actually. And we didn't think he was actually going to even make it. We had to give him IVs twice a day. He was getting bottles of milk every 2 hours. And he was on antibiotics for about 20 days. So it was pretty tough seeing an animal in that state that had very little to no strength at all to even hold himself up. He wasn't even crawling around. It was all sleeping, and we would basically have to wake him up to force feed him with a syringe because he didn't even want to eat for a good amount of time. And it took about, I'd say, 2 months before he turned into like a normal monkey where he started hanging on. Eleanor, I can't see. He started hanging on things and climbing around and jumping around. But I think that's one of the worst things that we go through working with animals, is seeing an animal in that state, not knowing if we can fix it when we put our all into fixing it. And for me and my sister Alex, who you guys all know, we were taking turns not sleeping at night to make sure this guy was getting as healthy as possible.
That is awesome stuff, man. It is one of the toughest things that we do is actually rehabilitating animals that come in super sick. And some things that make it a little bit even more difficult is that we didn't have a relationship with them beforehand. So luckily with him, he was actually, it sounds awful to say, but he was in such bad shape that he couldn't even do anything to us. So the first couple of weeks was very easy to take care of him from the perspective of him not being able to do anything to us or bite us or hurt us. But the first time we realized that he was actually getting better, you realized by how? What did he do to you?
I went in to do one of his feedings, and typically when we would feed him, we would support his back because he didn't have much strength, and he decided to turn around and bite me on my hand. And it was my favorite time ever being bitten by an animal.
That's cool. That is awesome. Now, so that's the worst. What's your favorite part of what we do?
I guess the opposite of that is seeing what he is like today and knowing where he was when we got him, and all different animals that we get from various places, seeing them completely change, whether it's their attitude or their health, into liking humans and trusting us, or getting better health-wise and growing a bond with them.
That is awesome. Now, I did want to say something and I completely forgot. So if you're just joining us now and you don't know what the heck you're watching, we did a season 1 about 1.5 years ago, and we call it Our Animal Adventure Live, where we're going to come on every Thursday at 7 o'clock. We're going to do this on YouTube. We're going to do it on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So if you're watching on one of them, you can go to any of these platforms. But if you want to watch a recorded version later on, if you just missed half, go to our Facebook page, Animal Adventure Park and Safari. We'll post it afterwards and we'll keep it there forever. We also are super interactive. We want to answer lots of your questions. So if you're watching from any of these platforms, comment a question and we will answer it for you. Now, if you're watching this later on and it's not live, comment the question and we'll get back to you later with that answer. And the questions you could ask are pretty much anything. You want to get personal questions with us, learn more about us, our animals, what we're planning for the future, what it is we do. And if you're first-time viewer of any of our content and you don't know it, Animal Adventures started about 13 years ago. So 14 years ago.
Almost,
About
yeah.
13 and a half years ago, we rescued and adopt the majority of our animals. We get a lot of people donate them to us too that can't take care of them anymore. So the majority of the animals that you'll see on all of our content and videos have been rescued or adopted or surrendered to us. When you come out and visit, we have 2 locations. They're both in Boynton Beach, Florida. One is reservation only. We do. You can go to animaladventures.com and you can book a reservation anytime you'd like. We have lots of different add-ons and stuff too. Believe it or not, this is one of the things you can add on to your tour. It's called a monkey adventure. You get to sit right where me and him are doing, and the monkeys go back and forth and hang out with you. You get to feed them, learn about them, take lots of pictures. It's an incredible experience. It's one of the coolest things we do, except for the otters. I think that is number 1. This is probably number 2. So if you haven't visited or you have and you haven't hung out with our monkeys yet, I highly suggest doing it as an add-on and going to animaladventures.com and clicking the date and time you want, and then an add-on. All the different things you can add on to your tours will populate. Monkey Adventure is one of them, which is pretty neat. And as you can see, this guy is a pretty sweet little monkey right there. I am going to kick you out of the chair for a minute, unless there's something else you'd like to say.
No, just come on out and meet Franklin and I and my whole family.
That is right. All right, now we have got Alexandra. She's going to sit down. You guys, you might not recognize her right now. She looks a little different without an otter in her mouth, or at least an otter's hands in her mouth. But when she doesn't have an otter in her mouth, she does look a little bit different. It's hard to recognize her. No one ever realizes who she is in public because there's no otter going right there. But so I want to, first off, has there been any other questions that we need to answer?
There were a bunch of questions that came through, but you just answered them. They were a lot about can we interact with the animals when we come out? Does the safari walkthrough like
What's the
personally
hardest part of
interact?
taking care of a capybara?
Oh. I would have to say probably cleaning their pond.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're really awesome. They're really fun to be around.
They're pretty easy to take care of, but
Yeah.
what she said is right. You guys may not know if you haven't visited us yet. We have a pond for our capybaras that is like, it's not a natural pond, dirt and water. It's we have a cemented pond so we can flow the water through all the time. But what cappies do is they poop and pee in their water. And you can't clean it too much because the poop and pee they need for health benefits. So they poop and pee in the water, then they have to soak their bodies in there. Sometimes you'll see their whole body underneath and just their little face sticking out breathing. They'll also have to eat their poop and drink the water that they peed in. So if you come out here, the dirtiest part of our property is going to be our cappy pond, and that's by design. We are actually building a brand new cappy pond very soon. We're super excited about it. But like my daughter just said, the hardest part of taking care of them is probably cleaning, because what we have to do is we empty it all out. We get all the poop and pee out once a week, and then we have to pressure wash it. Well, I shouldn't say I have to. So thankfully, we have staff that's been doing it for me lately, which has been awesome. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate those guys and girls who take care of a lot of our animals. So, but that is probably the hardest part of taking care of them. The worst part of a capybara is their bite. They bite really, really hard, and their teeth are like that big. They can take a finger off, so you got to be super careful. And I don't like to pet them at all because they soak in poop and pee. So I don't spend a ton of time with our cappies for that reason. I do like to hang out very close to them. I just don't do a lot of petting and cuddling. Did we have any other questions?
Someone asked or said they're doing the VIP tour and they want to know if they're able to hold the sloth.
So yes, all tours include a sloth encounter. If anyone ever sees any of our verbiage on any of our posts, texts, or whatever, one of the things we always say is we include encounters in a lot of our tours. So sloth encounter, whether it's a monkey encounter, an otter encounter, kangaroo encounter, whenever we use the word encounter, that means you're going to get a chance to pet them, learn about them, and take pictures with them. All of the additional stuff, like the add-ons, like the sloth holding, that's additional. You can add that on to your tour. So even though it says sloth encounter included, that's not holding included, so you can pay an additional amount to hold them. Now, our pricing is a little funny. Some people don't understand this, but we have 2 tours you can choose from. We have a walkthrough safari tour, which is $25 per person. Under 2 is free. And then there's lots of add-ons. Our VIP behind the scenes tour, moment. I think we're back on live. Yay. What was I talking about?
Wait another second. It's a bit blurry.
Talking about add-ons.
All right, so
Can I answer 2 questions while we're waiting for Al to get back?
wait, I just finished my add-ons. So the add-ons on VIP tours are cheaper than the add-ons on walkthrough safari tours. And we do that because we understand how much money it is for a VIP tour. So any add-on that you do to a VIP tour will be a fraction of the cost to what it would be if you do it for the walkthrough safari tour. So I hope that answered your question. Shawnee, you have 2 other questions?
Yeah. First off, I want to make sure everybody says hi to Dan.
Dan's on?
You. Yes.
Dan, which one's he on? Facebook or Instagram?
This one. Facebook.
Facebook.
Dan, so
Yeah.
real quick, let's stop the show for a minute. All right. If you watched this last season, you already know how important and how special of a human being Dan is, because we would talk about him all the time, and I believe we've had him on a couple of our lives for a couple minutes. Dan, unfortunately, just got really, really hurt, and we were really, really scared because he ended up falling, like 12 feet and hit his head on the ground and was in the hospital in awful shape. We were really, really nervous. So if you guys can, pray for Dan. We love you, Dan, and you're back home, thank God, but Dan was actually just back in the hospital yesterday, and you're stressing the crap out of us. But we love you, and thank you for being here watching. And if you have any questions, keep it PG. We know you can get a little nasty. All right, what other questions?
Someone was asking about the otters, but someone in the comments answered it for them.
What was the question?
What type of otters?
Asian small-clawed otters. The funny thing about Asian small-clawed otters is some people call them different things. They're called short-clawed otters, small-clawed otters,
Oriental Asian otters.
Oriental Asian otters. So, but if you didn't know, there's 13 species of otters, right? The Asian small-clawed otter is the smallest species. Not only are they the smallest, they're the species that talks the most, so they communicate a lot, they squeak a lot, they make a lot of noise, which we love. And they're also the otter that spends the least amount of time in the water. So if you ever come out here and you see them dry, there's nothing wrong with that. They just didn't want to go in the water. And they don't have to go in the water. They can do whatever they want. So out of the 13 species of otters, we think we have the coolest on the planet. But I love all otters. What other questions we got?
Where are we located, and how many animals in total do you have?
That is a great question. So we are located in Boynton Beach, Florida. Both locations are in Boynton Beach. Both locations are on the same street on 441. They're about 3-4 miles away from each other, and they're both completely different. I highly suggest visiting both locations the same day to have the best opportunity to meet all of our animals and all of our staff too. Our staff is pretty awesome. Now, so it was where are we located, and what was the second
How
part?
many animals in total do you have?
That's a good question. I'd have to go out there and count. We've had a few babies over the last couple of days. Plus we have some birds and stuff. But we have about 150 animals if I had to just give you a rough estimate. But I could go out there and count and go through our paperwork and stuff like that. But I haven't done that in the last few weeks. But great question. What else we got? Anything else? Any other questions? Which ones are you looking on?
I'm on Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook.
TikTok.
What is
real
the
quick.
coolest experience you have had with any animal you work with?
The coolest experience I've ever had with an animal that I've worked with, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know of one, but I'll let you think of your own.
That's a really, really, really good question.
That's a really good question.
And I don't want to just answer it quickly. I just want to take a second and think about it for a minute.
Well,
There's been so many.
while you're thinking about that, there's some questions on
No.
TikTok.
Let me. We'll get to that afterwards. Let me just focus on this one because this is a great question.
Okay.
All right. So I think the most amazing thing that's ever happened while working with an animal was about 12 years ago, 13 years ago. It was the first animal we ever had. It's the reason why we do what we do today. Kona, if you came here before, you know who she is. If you don't, That's a pretty good picture of her. I don't know if it comes through good on there, but this is my baby girl. She's as much as my daughter as this one is right here, and so is my other one over there. Her name is Kona. She's the first animal we ever rescued. She was abused very badly, but the story about her, which I think really changed the way I think about animals and humans and everything in general, was one night, it was about probably our first month ever having a horse. We were done feeding, we cleaned the stalls. Every night, we pretty much do the same thing when we were done. The animals didn't live with us at the time. We had one horse, we were renting a stall, and we would go there during the day, clean stalls and feed. So one night, we were about to leave. It was probably like, I don't know, 7 o'clock at night. We finished feeding, and I give Kona a big hug. I rub her on her nose like I always do, and tell her I love her, and I say goodbye. So I walk all the way to the car, and she neighs. Pretty bad. So I was like, oh my God, she just called me back, and my wife was like, oh, you gotta go back to her and give her another hug, kiss goodbye. So I go back to her and I give her a pat. I love you. I thought I was so special that she was calling me. It was the greatest feeling ever. So I go back to the car, and all of a sudden I hear, does that sound like a horse?
Not really, no.
Sorry. But so I hear it again. So I was like, oh my God, she's playing with me. She wants me to come back and forth. So I go back, pet her, give her a hug. I always wrap my arms around her big neck, and she puts her head right here. And I go back to the car now, and she does it again. So I'm like, what the heck? This is the craziest thing ever. So this time when I get back there, I go to say hello, and I don't even get a chance to pet her. She looks at me and drops right to the ground. And the second she dropped to the ground, she started rolling back and forth. And this is a month into having a horse. I don't know what the heck is going on, but I could tell there was something really, really, really bad happening. So I scream over to my wife, and she comes over, and we call our vet. And our vet comes out, and what happened was she was colicking, which means she had a really bad stomachache. She had an impaction, which means her intestines were blocked and nothing could pass through, so she couldn't go to the bathroom. And believe it or not, when we get a stomachache, it's not the worst thing in the world. When a horse gets a stomachache like that, they can end up dying from it. And what our vet had told us is that if we would have gone home, the impaction was so bad that she would have not been alive when we came there to feed in the morning. So that night, I actually slept with her. I stayed there all night long, made sure she was okay, and she's still with us today, thank God. But that was a very big eye-opener to me, because at the time, I didn't understand animals as much as I understand now, and I still have a lot more to learn and understand. But the one thing that taught me is these animals really have the ability to communicate with us, and there's a lot of thinking going on there that we might not see. We may get caught up in how cute they are, how beautiful and nice, but they have brains and they could use them, and they are way more intelligent than you could ever imagine, unless you've been working with them like I have. So that was an awesome question. That was a great memory to bring up. I love that horse more than anything, and thankfully she gave me an opportunity to learn all the stuff that she's been able to teach me. What other questions we have? Now guys, if you're just tuning in, this is our Animal Adventure Live. We're going to do this every Thursday at 7 o'clock. We're going to answer tons of questions, so we're going to be super interactive. Every week we'll have different animals. We'll also have human guests, and they'll bring animals too. Last year we had some amazing people come out and bring their animals on our show, which was awesome. And we're also hoping in the future that we can actually go to other facilities and put them on live, and you can learn a little bit about their animals, which would be really cool. Now, if you want to support us and you can't visit, the best way to support us is by sharing all of our posts, commenting on them. That does amazing things for us, I can't tell you. So a lot of people always ask, well, how can we support you? Obviously, coming out and visiting is a great way, but if you can't, share every post that you can, or don't share every post. Share every post that you love and enjoy. Share with your friends, share with your families, comment on it. I love to answer questions. If there's anything you want to know, comment on a post. If I don't answer it, comment on another post. We get thousands of comments a day, but I do try to reach out to a lot of people. I try to comment back as much as I can. So let's get back to some questions.
Dan asked, do all species of otters get along? If you had different types in captivity, could they share a space? And he said, Sean Kalin equals Dr. Doolittle.
I love you, Dan. Great question. I can't say definitive with 100% because I haven't worked with the other otters, but I would say odds of them all getting along are slim to none. They probably try to kill each other, depending on which otter is with the small clawed otters. There's some pretty big otters out there. So I don't think our otters would have a chance, and I wouldn't want to take that risk. I am looking into getting, working with some bigger otters in the future, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about that. I may not go into this live on what we're doing, but we're going to open up another branch of what we do for wildlife rehabilitation. And obviously here in South Florida, we're going to have an opportunity to rehabilitate the North American river otters that are out here all the time. Now, we're not going to be keeping them. Once we get this set up, we're going to just rehabilitate them and then re-release them into the wild. But at that time, I'll have a lot more experience working with those otters, and then I can answer that better. I love the Dr. Doolittle part of the question too. That is probably one of my favorite movies back in the day. It was pretty awesome. Love that movie. Next question.
It's not really a question, but Judy, you can reach out to any of us on our social media pages, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have to arrange a VIP tour. But the easiest way would be going on our website, and you can see all the days and times that are available. And if you have any questions about what's included on the tour, definitely reach out to us.
Awesome. One thing I'd like to mention is we got a bad review the other day. It was a 1-star review, and I take reviews very seriously. I mean, I shouldn't just say I, but my family and our staff put everything we have into what we do. So reviews are really important to us, and a bad review is really important to us too, because we want to have the ability to, if we made a mistake or we didn't do something good, we want to be able to fix it and move forward. But one review I do want to talk about because it's important. We got a 1-star review for not answering our phones. So we don't answer our phone hardly ever. And the reason for that is we get thousands of phone calls. I mean, it is insane the amount of people that try to reach out to us. So to answer all these calls, we could do it like another professional business would. They would open up a call center and they would have multiple people there answering the calls. The reason why I won't do that is because I'd rather not spend the money on answering phones. I'd rather spend the money on the animals. So I did respond to the 1-star review that says we don't answer the phone, but I don't know if they got it or not, but I do want to explain to you guys watching that the reason why we don't, so at least you understand that. But we are pretty good at getting back with text messages. Also DMs we do a really good job of getting back to. Now you can't book a reservation over the phone, through text, or by DMing. You can go to animaladventures.com. Every single question would be answered if you go to the website. But if you have a question, text it to us. If you try calling and we don't answer, it's because we are way too crazy to answer a phone. We have animals to take care of. We have text message to get back to. We have to set stuff up. We have to purchase, every day we have to purchase food for our animals. Fish, we can't freeze the fish for the otters. We have to get fresh fish every day. Then we have to cut it up. There's a lot of stuff going on. So that was one bad review that was really bothering me because there's nothing I could do to fix it that I think would benefit our animals. So if you ever need to reach us, any questions, text. If you don't get a response back in 15, 20 minutes, text again. Annoy the crap out of us for all we care, because we will annoy the crap out of you once you make a reservation with all the rules you got to do, when you come out here and stuff like that. So harass us, get the questions answered that you want. Just don't flip out if we don't answer our phone. Now, once in a while we will. If I see it and I have nothing to do, I pick it up, boom, and that's it. So I just wanted to clear the air there. But so now a couple of questions for this chick. She's been waiting. She's probably nervous. What is my dad going to ask me?
You never know.
So, but I'm going to ask you the same question I asked them. What is your? I think everyone here can answer the question for you. But what is your favorite animal that we have?
I don't even want to say it out loud because it's not fair to pick one. Our Junior. Junior.
These guys have an incredible relationship. What is your favorite thing about doing what we do?
I probably have to agree with Sean for part of my answer. Seeing an animal come in and not the greatest shape, watching them become super healthy, but also watching our relationships grow. I think that's one, but also being able to give animals opportunities to grow together by giving them families, whether it's same species or not the same species. Like, for example, we have 2 animals here that a lot of people might not have ever met before, but we have a rooster that showed up here one day, and we have a duck that showed up here one day.
Yeah, they showed up here.
And
Like, we didn't get them, they arrived.
Yeah.
They
The
fly.
dog.
and a
Rocky,
dog.
and Rocky.
And Rocky.
Rocky.
Oh, we have big news to tell you guys about Rocky.
Yeah.
We'll wait until you're
But their names are McAllen and Daffy, and they've never left. Doesn't seem like they have any plans to leave, which are totally fine. We'd rather them stay here. But watching them come here, not knowing anything about us, but then staying because they love it here so much, but also forming awesome relationships with our cows. Our cows are their best friends in the whole world. And Daffy is obsessed with our zebras. Obsessed. She spends probably half of her day in our zebra paddock with them. So that, I think, is one of my favorite things too.
Yeah, that is, to me, one of the coolest things, and it proves to show you that those animals can leave whenever they want. They can fly.
Yeah.
Okay, they got on our property, they can get off our property, we watch them fly across our property. And the fact that they decide to stay here, look, obviously I know one of the reasons is we feed our animals a lot of food, so there's lots of food around, but they could go anywhere they want, and they decided to stay and make friendships with these animals. It is really, really cool. Next time you guys come out here, ask one of the tour guides a little bit about it, and they'll tell you or they'll point them out. Sometimes we don't know where they are because they have full roam of our entire property, but it's amazing. Now, the question you don't want me to ask you is, what is your worst part about doing what we do?
Vet visits. As much as I love our vet, she's the greatest vet ever, but being there is hard. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, vet visits I don't think vet visits are hard. I enjoy vet visits because I learn from them. What I don't like is the phone call to the vet.
Yeah, it depends.
Because-
It depends on what type of vet visit it is.
Yeah. I don't
That's the
like
biggest
when we
thing.
have to call our vet
Yeah.
because that means there's a problem, and that is, she has PTSD from it for sure. I do too, for sure. Probably Jordan also. Shawnee doesn't get PTSD from anything. I don't think. His brain is built differently, and ever since he's been a kid, I've always wished I had his brain. But the way he can handle certain situations is just insane. So I want to talk to one other person. I'm going to ask her to come on camera real quick.
Wait, can I say hi to somebody
Yes.
that just came in?
Yeah, who's in?
Lewis from Birds and Exotic. I'm sure
Lewis!
hopefully this season we can have him back on and we can see what he can bring out and come on the live and talk to you guys about some either birds of prey or an alligator or whatever
That'd
he
be so
would
cool.
like to bring on.
Lewis is the best. If you've watched us before on these lives, Lewis's came out, he brought out his owl. It was the coolest experience. For me, that was amazing, getting a chance to meet his owl. Lewis is awesome. He's got some incredible animals. He does a really good job taking care of them. So we can't wait to see you, Lewis. Hope your family and everyone's good. We definitely miss you, and we got to get together soon. So this is Addie Mae. Addie Mae, you've probably seen lots of videos with her running around with otters, running away from a porcupine in a Starbucks cup. She's had some very, very funny videos. She helps check the pouches. But I do want to give her a little bit of a shout out because she is only 6 years old. She knows absolutely nothing else but working with animals. She is legitimately, when she was a baby and an infant and couldn't talk, couldn't move, she was actually being raised with and by animals. So she has some incredible friendships. So she might be a little bit nervous, but I'm going to ask her a couple of questions. Can I ask you a couple of questions? Okay. Do you have a favorite animal?
Lila.
Really? All right. Tell them what kind of animal Lila is.
She's an otter.
Yeah, you love otters. Yeah. Out of all the animals you've ever worked with, which is the one that really you were excited to work with, that you think about even after you work with them? Is there a specific type of animal that you enjoy working with the most?
Mars.
Mars. So Mars is our red-ruffed lemur. Mars and her grew up together. Mars, when she was a baby, was actually really sick and had to live with us for a little bit. He's doing amazing now. He's great. He's outside. You can see him whenever you come here. But Mars and her had a great relationship because they legitimately grew up together. I think Mars is probably about a year older than her, but they have spent so much time together, and he is the sweetest lemur ever, right? What is your favorite part of doing what we do?
Feeding them.
You love feeding them? I love feeding them too. I love watching our animals eat. It's weird. And what is the part that you hate the most?
The otters poop.
The otter's poop. Otter poop smells pretty bad. What is what animal do we not have here that you would love the opportunity to work with in the future?
Elephant.
An elephant. Very cool.
That's a good one.
Well, odds are we'll never have an elephant. Hopefully one day we can go with somebody that has an elephant or knows an elephant place and we can help them out and work with them. That would be pretty cool. All right, skedaddle. Wait, do you have anything to say? All right, do we have any questions to answer? Because I want to talk about something in a minute.
There was a question for Allie from Taylor.
Ah,
She wanted to know who your favorite cow was.
Mimi. I have Mimi tattooed on my arm right there.
Mimi is one of the
She's also the
coolest
first
animals.
cow that we ever rescued. She's the best.
She is
She really
the
is.
best. She
Yeah.
is legitimately a big white dog.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All right, so I've been telling you guys we have some big news. So now I'm going to blurt out some big news. Hope you're ready for it. Hope it's big for you guys because it's pretty big for us. A couple of things we're working on, and some of this stuff is going to happen very fast. We are going to start selling merchandise, which is very cool. But even cooler, yeah, come sit down. You guys can get back to it too. That's a good idea, Shawnee Bones. And if you have to take that thing out to sit on it. So, couple of things with the merchandise. We want you guys to be involved as well. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is we're designing a shirt. We're designing it, coming up with ideas actually the last few days. And hopefully in the next week we'll have our shirt design done. As soon as we're selling shirts, we're going to let you guys know. They're going to be awesome. We're going to release different shirts at different times. We're also going to do shirts for different holidays. And then obviously shirts with different animals on it. It's going to be really awesome. But what we need your help with is we want to do something different when it comes to merchandise. So we're coming up with different ideas of different things that we can sell that have actual meaning to them. I don't want to just sell cups with stuff on them. To me, we haven't sold merchandise because I don't look to just sell things to make money. I want to sell things that have meaning and give you something to talk about. So a couple of ideas that we have. I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. Drop a comment below or send me a DM on some of these things and what you think. And if we don't mention something and you have a great idea, DM us. We are looking to do some really cool stuff with merchandise. But we are going to do, we want to sell rocks. Sounds really weird. We want to sell rocks that are played with by Junior and the rest of our otters. The rocks that we end up selling are going to all have certificates of authenticity. You'll be able to see Junior playing with that specific rock. We're actually going to be doing our lives and let Junior pick out rocks, and people that want to purchase them, we're going to send them to you. The rocks are going to be awesome. And if you don't know this, why it's so important, rocks and otters, they can't live without them pretty much. For an otter to propose to their wife, they show them a rock, just like humans do, except humans use diamonds. But they use rocks, which is pretty cool. I should have done that with my wife, and I would have probably been a little bit better off giving her a rock that an otter played with rather than a diamond. So that's one thing we want to start doing. We're going to start making jewelry with the rocks that our otters play with, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
You came up with that idea. What are a couple of other ideas that we're thinking about? We're going to do
Merchandise?
for merchandise. We're going to do handprints.
Yeah.
Otter handprints for sure.
Quills, maybe.
Quills from our porcupines. We have 4 porcupines. We're going to do some really cool stuff with the quills. Another thing we can use your help on, obviously, give us more ideas, some really cool things. Not stuff you would normally see in a gift shop with, cups and stuff like that. I want really cool stuff, different things, stuff that has meaning. DM me anything you think of, or comment if this is still here afterwards. But one other thing you can do.
Some funny puns that
Yes.
include animals that we have.
That's where I wanted to go with that. I want you guys to give us some funny things you want to see on shirts. Give us some really good ideas. We have some awesome ones, but we could do way better if you guys help us. So that would be really, really cool. Giving us some ideas on what we could put the shirts. The first shirt is going to be an otter shirt, obviously, and it's going to have Junior on it. That is going to be for sure. So we're super duper excited. I hope you guys are excited as much as we are, because you all have been harassing us to do this, and finally I'm doing it, and I'm going to tell you why I'm doing it, which I don't know if I should say online, but I'm going anyway. We have a lot of people that work with us. Our staff is amazing. One of the things I've always thought growing up, working for different companies that I've worked at and different companies that I've owned in the past, is the one thing I've always realized is we all deserve more money, right? I mean, whatever job you do, you deserve more. Whatever it is, I don't care how much you make. If you make $1 million a year now, you deserve $2 million. That's just my opinion. I think everyone that's a human being, they get up every morning, they have to do so much and work so much more. As far as what we can afford to pay people is not the highest amount. So the one thing is, I never wanted anyone to come and work here and not have a future here. So we get a lot of young people that come out and work, some just for the summer, just some for a few months, and I understand why, because how are you going to buy a house and take care of a family working at an animal park and safari? So finally I came up with the idea, we don't sell merchandise. If I'm going to, I want to use that merchandise to go towards things. So 25% of the profit on the merchandise that we sell is going to go to all of our staff. So they have the opportunity to make more money when they're here. And that's like the shirts, the merch sales are going towards the management, all the managers that we have. So we've got quite a few managers out here. You can meet them when you go to the animal park or the safari. So that is also going to give a lot of our staff that isn't management yet the opportunity to work their butts off to get into that. We're also doing another revenue share for all of our staff, which is going to be on social media, which is another big thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. We are opening up a staff page. So all of our staff is going to be filming content with the animals. We're going to be doing day in the lives of each one of our staff members and tour guides. We're going to do some really cool content, long form videos, and we're going to monetize our accounts, which we'll be able to use you guys. Hopefully you'll help us get to where we need to go. And our staff is all going to share within that monetized accounts so they can make extra money as well. So I know we're talking about some weird stuff here, but like I said, on these lives, the platform is open. Ask us anything, whether it's personal. I wish you guys can see what my daughter's doing right now. Can you come over here and do that on video, please? Please? Can you just please come over here? Can you just do that?
No.
Why not? No? You'll be on the camera. Some of them you won't. So hopefully that all works out. Hopefully you guys all support us that way. So once we have the name of the page, right now we have one on TikTok. It's called what is it called? Animal Adventures Staff?
On TikTok. It's Safari Shenanigans.
Oh, Safari Shenanigans. But we're going to change the name, and the name is going to be the same throughout every platform. And we're going to let everyone know when that happens. It's going to be over the next couple of weeks. So that's going to be our staff page. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff with all of us. And then all of our tour guides are going to have their own page, and they're going to film content with their favorite animals and stuff. And we're going to invite them onto these lives so you guys can get to know them a little bit better. And we're super excited about that. Have we had any questions? Anything we need to answer?
I got taken over by Franklin and Eleanor.
You have my phone, I can answer.
Yeah, we're going to check if there's any questions real quick.
Do you want to check TikTok real quick?
Now, if you're not watching Facebook and you're on Instagram when we post this, I think it might stay as a story for the next 24 hours. Not sure what happens on YouTube, and I know TikTok is going to be gone. So if you guys want to re-watch this entire live and ask more questions and see what our answers are, you can go to our Facebook page, Animal Adventure Park and Safari, and that is going to stay there forever. Over the next few days, I will constantly go to that post and look at any updated questions or new questions you guys have, and I will answer them there. That probably just died, that battery for the light. Don't worry about it. Now, we're going to get ready in a minute to wrap it up if I don't have any other questions, but the one other thing I do want to tell you is in about 5 minutes after we shut down from here, I am going to my other page and I'm doing a whiskey review. If you don't know this, I do whiskey reviews. I do a lot of weird stuff outside of work. Whiskey reviews is one of them. And I haven't done one in a year and a half. I am going to start doing them again every Thursday after the show. So you can go to Patrons of America. That is my whiskey review Facebook page. It's the only on Facebook. I don't do it on any other platform currently. I haven't done one in over a year. We'll probably, they're usually just like a minute video. I don't even think I'm going to do it live. I'll just do the review and then post it. Or maybe I'll do one live. I don't know. But what are the questions we have?
One question says, are there any goals you are wanting to accomplish for the safari in the future? It came from Taylor.
Yes. Hey, Taylor. We miss you. Hopefully you come out here soon.
She was just out here last weekend. You guys
I
missed
wasn't
her.
here.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so that's a great question. Any goals we have? So yeah, I have a ton of goals. It's insane. You could imagine when I put goals down, they're the most ridiculous goals ever, because I firmly believe that if you don't make your goals big enough, you'll end up hitting them and be sorry that you didn't make them bigger. So my ultimate goal for this place is to be like Disney. I want to have a couple of 100 acres. I would like to have a walk-through safari, a drive-through safari. I want to have a place where we could take in all different types of animals for all different types of reasons, educate the public on it, and have multiple locations all over the world. But I do want to be gigantic, where we can have hotels, restaurants on property, and I want to be able to give something that you can't get anywhere on this planet unless you go to Africa, which is very difficult to get to, and a lot of people don't want to take all the medication you need to do the flying. So that's my ultimate goal. My short-term goals is I would like to open up more of our walk-through safari locations all over the country. I've put out posts. I'm looking to see if we have anyone that has any land where we can partner with. But we're working on it. I've reached out to some smaller facilities that might want to be taken over, because I feel like we've put together something pretty awesome here and we can duplicate it in other places. And since we have such an amazing staff, we wouldn't be running thin by doing it. I can put certain staff members over at certain locations and stuff like that. So those are our goals. We want to grow big enough where we can have the ability to help more animals, and not just animals. We also like helping people too. And if you've been following us for a long time, you probably already know that. But that's an awesome question. That's just a couple of things we're looking to do. Might sound a little outrageous, but I only think outrageous for some reason.
What do you do with animals when bad hurricanes hit in Florida?
So it depends on the hurricane. If it's bad, we leave. Obviously, we're not going to stay here. If we have to leave, they come with us. We have trucks and trailers. We've done it before. My wife's brother had a property with a couple acres we brought animals to. I have a lot of friends with facilities in different states that always open their doors for us, just like we've done for them in the past. So we load them up, we go. That's it. We've done it before. It was the worst thing ever, but it was the safest thing to do. If we have to leave, they have to leave with us. It's like, what was the saying? No man left behind. That's how we roll. And my daughter's looking for some more questions.
Someone was looking for Mom.
Yeah, someone did ask where Heather is.
Laura said, can someone take photos of a family member who's holding the otters?
So during the VIP tour,
Wait, what was the question?
If a family member can take pictures.
If they're in the VIP.
if they're in the VIP tour, yes.
Yeah, so anyone in the VIP tour can take pictures. They bring their phone in. We don't allow guests in the VIP tour unless they're paid for. You can't even come on the property unless you pay for it. So if you come by yourself, which we have a lot of people come as singles to our VIP tour, there will be someone that can take a picture. We don't hold your cameras though because of liability purposes. Last thing I want to do is drop a $1,200 phone on the ground and break it. So what we do is if you come by yourself, there's always someone around. We just say, hey, can you take a picture or video for him? And everybody complies. We make sure it works out good for you. The last thing we want you to do is leave here with no pictures or videos. We want you to have a lot.
I know one more thing that I was seeing a lot was people were requesting to see a sloth. If we want to.
Do you guys want to see a sloth? If I get 5 comments that say yes on each platform except for YouTube, because we don't have many people watching. If I get 5 yeses on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, we'll bring a sloth out.
All right, let's see.
In the meantime, do you want to bring these guys out? This way we don't have a sloth and the monkeys in here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we're going to get 5 yeses, guys. I hope we get 5 yeses. We have 5
On
on TikTok already. Let's go. Instagram, 5 yeses. Facebook 5 yeses and we'll bring out, just type YES and we'll bring out a sloth. If you're watching now on Facebook, make sure you share this. Every time we're on live, share it so more people can see it. I know this is our first live in a long time, so we don't have a huge audience. Pretty pumped about Instagram. We've got a pretty nice audience going on Instagram right now. And looks like TikTok too. But I promise, guys, I'm going to be on a lot more live stuff. Do we have 5 yeses? I see 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like we got 5 on Facebook. Did we get 5 on Instagram?
I haven't seen any.
Guys, this is what's going to happen. I got 5 on TikTok, 5 on Facebook. If I don't get 5 on Instagram, I'm going to shut my lives off on Instagram, and you won't be able to see this live. Let's see. Can't wait for the junior shirt. I can't wait either. I am super pumped. Jordy, just see if we've got 5 yeses on Instagram. Instagram, comment YES right now if you want to see a sloth in a minute. Instagram is not saying yes at all.
No, there hasn't been any comments.
Wow, Instagram, that's great.
Instagram, you guys are dropping the ball right now. All right, so my daughter is going to get a sloth. If we have 5 yeses on Instagram, you guys will see it. But Facebook, hang tight. We're getting our sloth now. TikTok, hang tight. We're getting our sloth.
I see a couple.
Oh,
Yeah,
we got 'em. We got 5 yeses on Facebook. Awesome. And YouTube, stick around. We're going to bring our sloth out right now. We can't get 5 yeses on YouTube because our audience is too small. But that's my fault. I don't post on YouTube at all, but I'm going to start doing it now. All right. Sit over there for 1 second. Who do we have here? Is that? Oh my God.
Mr. Slow-Mo.
This is slow-mo. And Al, why don't you bring slow-mo to each camera and talk about slow-mo for a little bit.
He is one of the cutest sloths in the whole world. I can't say he's the cutest because we do have 3 sloths here. We have Slow-Mo's older sister, Slophia, which if you've been out here, you have definitely met Slophia before. And then we also have Dash, which you definitely have met Dash before if you've been out here too. They are literally the best sloths on the
So
planet.
if you're wondering, she's showing slow-mo to the different cameras, so you're stuck with looking at me.
He's going back and forth. Now, Slow-Mo.
That's just how I... Wait, hold on. The monkeys want to say hi, look.
He is a baby two-toed sloth, and if you didn't know this, every sloth, if he'll let me show you guys, actually has 3 toes. They're the cutest little toes ever. I'll show everybody. Come around every camera. But the best way to tell them apart by looking at their fingers. You can see he's got 2 fingers on each hand. And the other lives, if you don't know what my dad's doing, he is pretending to be a monkey right now. And
I'm like a 7-year-old.
And even at his size, he is incredibly strong. Two-toed sloths have, oh my gosh, two-toed sloths have, Dad, you just ripped my hair out. Two-toed sloths are very strong. They have the strength of, at his age, probably he doesn't have the full strength of an adult sloth, obviously, but they can have same strength as 5 human beings combined. It's pretty incredible. Pretty awesome. Are there any questions about
Sloth.
Slow-Mo? Oh, Tori commented
Wait,
that
our Tori?
Tori commented that he's the best sloth ever. One thing to know about Tori, if you have come out and visited us, you have probably met Tori before. If you have not met Tori, you have to come and meet her. She is actually one of our managers out here. And Tori actually has taken the mom position for Slow-Mo here. She fully claimed it, but equally as so, Mo 100% claimed her as well. It's actually the cutest thing ever to see their relationship with each other. It's really, really, really incredible. Any other questions for Mo? I know that wasn't a question, but this says, are sloths aggressive?
Okay, answer that question.
Yeah, you can answer that. Go
Sloths
ahead.
are super aggressive, okay? Who asked that? On this
It's
one?
on this one, yeah.
I'm gonna put
Right
this
here.
up. I'm gonna stand up. No, I can't
Yeah.
stand up so I can see it. All right. So I want to talk about something for a second here. So sloths, there are 2 types of sloths on this planet. Everyone needs to understand this, and almost nobody knows this because when you watch television, whether it's Nat Geo, you go online and you research animals. If you go to ChatGPT and ask about animals, or you even go to watch cartoons for kids, anytime there's a sloth depicted, it's going to look a lot different than this one. All right, it's going to be a three-toed sloth. It's going to have the mask around its eyes. They work at DMV. If you watched Ice Age,
Zootopia.
Zootopia. Just kidding.
That'd be pretty
Alright.
crazy if there was DMVs in the Ice Age.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty bad.
The reason why I want you guys to know that is because there are two types of sloths, and three-toed sloths are the slowest moving mammals on the planet. They move like this. That's how a three-toed sloth moves, right? Two-toed sloths are freaking nuts. Now, I'm saying that while you're watching a sloth not move at all, but that's only because slow-mo is super content. Now, they can be super aggressive, two-toed sloths. You cannot handle a two-toed sloth that doesn't want to be handled. If he was not happy and content right here, he could get off this pillow, he could use his claws to grab onto us, he can scratch us with them, which these aren't even his big weapons. His big weapons are in his mouth. I don't know if you can see them because he's a little baby, but he has big canine teeth like this big. He's super strong. He can break skin and bone by biting us, and what he would do if he was angry right now or stressed or nervous, he would grab onto one of us and then he would bring that body part right to his mouth and chomp down on it. He can move quick. He can run on the floor. He can run up a tree. He can move a lot faster than he looks right now. And the reason why I wanted to explain the differences to you is because three-toed sloths aren't violent at all because they can't move quickly. If they could, they probably would. But these guys are nothing like a three-toed sloth except from where they live and how they do things. So I hope that answers your question. So they can be very aggressive. That's why a lot of places in the United States of America don't allow you to get near their sloths because it's too dangerous. Go out of the country into South or Central America and you find people hanging out with sloths all the time. That's because they're not two-toed sloths. They will not let you play with them or hold them or touch them because they're too dangerous. Three-toed sloths are the ones you see people go into like Costa Rica and taking pictures and stuff like that. So I hope, please do the poop dance. Who just asked for that?
Taylor,
Sean.
that's all you.
You all right? Come here. So,
Oh no.
so a couple of you guys a lot of you guys have been out here. You already know what we're about to do. But sloths typically only go to the bathroom once a week. Once every 7 or 8 days, they poop and pee one time at the same time. When a sloth
When
a sloth goes to the bathroom, they lose 33% of their body weight. So if a sloth full grown, this is a baby, so it's smaller. If a sloth was full grown, it would be about 25 pounds. So that means it loses 8 pounds every time it poops and pees. Now, when it does poop and pee, it doesn't poop and pee up the top of the tree. It comes all the way down the tree, all the way down to the bottom to the ground. Oh! And then when it, get up a little bit.
Yeah.
So when it starts pooping, it does a dance. And that dance kind of looks just like that, okay? Now, that dance is super important. It looks funny. It's funny for us to show you like that, but there's a really important thing that they're doing there, which is fun to talk about. So in the wild, this sloth would be covered in algae, so it would look a lot green, it would look nasty, it would have stuff all over it. So algae and moss, so imagine all over the body. Now in that algae and moss and all in the hair would be all kind of tiny bugs and insects. Now these guys typically eat lots of leaves on the trees that they live on, right? But for a little additional source of protein, they'll start licking their hair, right? And in that hair, they're gonna start ingesting some of those bugs and insects, give them that little more protein. So the bugs and insects are a really important part of their lives. So when they're going to the bathroom, that dancing and that wiggling their butt around is signifying that they're going to be down there for a little bit. And those bugs and insects, what they do is when they feel that moving around, they start hopping off. They start jumping off. And what are they doing? They're jumping onto the poop pile that the sloth is making and laying their eggs in there so they can make baby bugs and insects. And that's important for the sloth because the sloth wants to eat the moms and dads, but they want to be able to go back down to the ground and bring up some more insects and bugs. So when they stop moving their butt around, they will actually get all the bugs and insects back onto them. They'll go back up the tree, and that's where they'll go for the next 7 or 8 days, which is pretty awesome. Now, one other fact about sloths, unless there's any other questions before we go, is during mating season, the female sloth screams so loud just like our human wives. They scream so loud. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna get in trouble. They scream so loud that all the male sloths can hear them from about a mile away, which is probably the most dangerous thing for the male sloths because a sloth, once they get on the ground, that's when they become very, very easy target for predators out there. Any other questions that we missed? Let's see. Anything I'm trying to look? I don't think I have any questions. Well, guys, we are going to end it right now. Well, maybe 30 seconds from now, I'm going to say a few more things. Again, if you're on Facebook, share this if you haven't shared it yet. If you're on Facebook and you're seeing this when we're not live, still ask tons of questions. And over the next few days, I will go on Facebook and I will answer those questions. Either me, myself, my son, my daughter will go on there, or my other son too, and answer those questions the best we can. We're going to do this every Thursday at 7 o'clock. This was a blast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give us some constructive criticism too. I don't care if it's on a comment or a DM. Tell us what you guys want to see. Every week's going to be different. We'll have different animals. We're going to be super interactive with you guys. Last thing I do want to tell you guys. Well,
I'm waiting for you to say it. I don't know.
You're really interested. Discounts. We do offer discounts on tours. You have to be part of our VIP club. Our VIP club, we are the most annoying people ever. We're going to text you a million times. Don't say stop unless you want to. But when you hit stop on that text message in our VIP club, you can't make a reservation and come visit us again. And the reason why we do that is because we have to be able to text you different information for when you come and visit. So if you want to be a part of our VIP club, go to animaladventures.com and there'll be a pop-up. Put in your information. We're going to text you once or twice a week. We're going to harass you, but we'll always attach a cute picture with it. But if you want to hit stop, that's fine. But remember, you won't be able to visit or get any discounts. So we do offer promo codes on that text message quite frequently. We have one going out now. And then the one thing I do want to tell you is, if you have never been part of our VIP club and you make a reservation, let's just say right now, you're going to get a text a few minutes later that's going to be offering you a promo code if one's running, because automatically you get put into our VIP club once you book a reservation. So a couple of people over the last couple of weeks, they would get that text after and ask if we can apply that discount. We don't apply that discount. We're giving you that discount to use for a future visit. And then you'll start getting more texts. So I just want to let everyone know the way it works. So if you haven't been a VIP member and you book a reservation, we automatically put you in there. If you don't want to be in there afterwards, after your visit, you can hit stop and then we'll never text you again, and then you won't be able to visit again. So I hope that answers some questions too. So guys, Jordy Barry, you want to come over here?
Wait, can I say something before
Absolutely.
you end it? I want to say sorry to my family and our employees for the last 6 to 7 months because of the health issues that I was going through. But with every tough thing that we go through, a good thing always comes out of it. And this girl here and this guy here have taken a huge step as far as helping out with managing our employees and the whole property. So I think when you guys come out, make sure you guys give them a big pat on the back.
That's awesome.
I think that was the nicest thing he's ever said about me. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know, he's been going through some issues, and the reason why we actually stopped doing these episodes is I was going through some health issues, and then when I started getting better, he went downhill. So, he's doing a lot better now. Hopefully, over the next few weeks, he keeps getting his butt in gear and does a lot better. But anything you guys would like to say before we go?
We just thank you guys so much for the support. Everybody's awesome. We love you guys, and you guys make this amazing job even more fun. It's incredible.
Yeah,
So
we
thank
couldn't
you
do
guys.
any of this stuff without you guys. We love you all, and I can't wait to do this again. I forgot how much I enjoyed doing these episodes. So, guys, thank you very much, TikTok. We love you. We'll be on TikTok more. Hopefully, TikTok stays here in America. I think we have a 50-50 chance of that happening, but unfortunately, if TikTok does go away, you guys better get to our Instagram or our Facebook, because we need you guys. 5.5 million strong on TikTok. Love you all. YouTube, I want to apologize to you guys. I know there's only 3 of you watching. We only have 26,000 followers on YouTube. That is my fault. I should be on YouTube more often, and I promise you guys I will make a better point of doing some more content. We're actually going to be developing content strictly for YouTube, which I'm excited about. And Instagram, I love you guys. I'm on Instagram all day long, posting a ton of stuff. Thank you all for all the engagement. I get some awesome comments. And again, thank you for sticking up for my boy over there. He posted a video on our Instagram page. You could see it. It was a few days ago. He tagged me in it, so I posted it on our Instagram for everyone to see. And he got some hate, and you guys stuck up for him. I love it. I couldn't do this stuff without you guys. It makes life so much better knowing that we have the support of all of you, and hopefully we get even more followers and some more support in the future. And Facebook, you guys the best. You are our what's the word? Like the original. You are
OGs.
Yeah, you're our OG Facebook. We started with you guys. We love Facebook. We couldn't do this without you. Most of our advertising money goes towards Facebook, so we love you all. We love all the engagement we get with you guys too, and all the comments and suggestions and stuff that we see on Facebook on a regular basis. So we love you all. And there was one last thing I wanted to say before I go. I don't shut up if you haven't noticed. I had a cup of coffee about an hour and a half ago, so I'm screwed for the rest of the night. I don't know. Oh, so that was the last thing. One other thing. If you didn't hear me earlier on, I'm gonna start posting once or twice a week some stuff that's not animal related. And sometimes people get pissed at me for that. But I think it's really important to share our lives with you guys because you share so much with us. You come out and visit us, you get to talk to us. So I'm going to be sharing once or twice a week, nothing crazy, but just some of the stuff we might be doing outside of here. So I'm definitely going to be documenting his journey on he wants to be some kind of bodybuilder. I can tell with the posing he's been doing. We've had a lot of stuff. I also share some of my friends' things on here because my friends support us and I want to support our friends. So if I share some stuff that's not animal related, I hope you guys don't get upset. But I do think it's important to support our friends, and I do think it's important for you guys to see a little bit about what we do outside of here. So I hope that doesn't piss you guys off, and if it does, I apologize. But again, you guys spend your money with us, you spend your time watching our videos. I think it's really important to see some other stuff we do besides animals. So guys, thank you so much for being here, all of you. Have an incredible rest of the night, and don't forget to come visit. And if you don't know how to visit, go to animaladventures.com, book a reservation. There's 2 tours to choose from. You can also visit our other property, which is down the block, which is not reservation only, and you can visit us any Saturday and Sunday you want there too. Guys, have an incredible night. We're going to shut down now.
See you next Thursday.
See you guys
See
next
you
Thursday.
I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry, TikTok.